our guest co-host today. Please welcome our friend and author of the book, Everything You Need to Know About Social Media Without Having to Call a Kid, Greta Van Susteren.
Thank you.
And there is another book that we're going to be talking about. The reason everyone is sitting like this is because this book has come out and everybody's head is exploded.
Yes.
It's called Fire and Fury by Michael Wolff, who had full access to you-know-who's campaign and his first year in the White House. And even though they now say everything in the book is a lie, the White House has already put out a cease and desist order to the man who dropped some of the biggest bombshells, President Steve Bannon. Any thoughts, my friends, on why?
On why
Why any of it?
Why? Well, there's a cease and desist because probably a lot of it is true. As some of the pundits said, even if it's not 100% true, the spirit of it is true.
Right.
And everything that's in that book, we have been saying for a whole year. I'm just saying.
Well, and if you look at back up first, though, so who in his right mind let a writer into the White House to sit there and listen for a journalist? I mean, that was insane.
Well, they're not that right.
He had a lot of access, but what was interesting to me about the cease and desist letter, they say that there was sort of this non-disparagement agreement between, I guess, Bannon and the White House. And he also says that in some cases, there were outright defamatory statements made. So not in all cases, but in some cases. And
Well,
that struck me as
that's a legal
significant.
standard. That's a legal standard.
Yeah.
But I mean, the non-disparagement clauses, I mean, probably all our contracts have had them, right?
Is it normal to have a non-disparagement clause in government?
Well, I think this, I don't know, I think this went back to the campaign, didn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know, which would have been government then. I don't know.
It said that Melania cried on election night. So did I. We all cried that night.
Well, we came in this morning and my head really was exploding in our morning meeting. And even last night, there's like this period of time between when the show ends and then we come back here and I'm like, oh, it's going to be a slow news day. I'm going to go home and cook. And then I'm like, what is going on? What is happening? So I have to tell you, and you know this, Greta, because you're a journalist, the idea of giving any journalist, let alone someone like Michael Wolff, which, by the way, he has been described by the Washington Post's Paul Farahi as someone who, quote, pushes the facts as far as they'll go and sometimes further than they can tolerate. Giving him the kind of access where he is shadowing the president, talking to the top staffers for 18 months is not only unprecedented, but it is suicide and insanity. The only thing that I can come up with right now is that Steve Bannon is trying to take Trump out from the inside. That's the only thing that I can come up with because Steve Bannon is only all in for Steve Bannon. If I were teaching a political science class to a bunch of students saying, okay, grade 1, let me tell you this, access is the #1 currency you have to play. Keep it as close to you as possible. Do not let journalists around you in this kind of faction. I don't understand it. It is beyond my comprehension.
Maybe he thought it was going to be complimentary, but what was interesting to me about what Bannon said
just
was
laughing. Do you know what Whoopi said, honestly, sorry to interrupt you, Sonny, that it was like letting the fox into the hen house. I think that sums it up concisely.
I think what's very interesting and I think maybe most damaging to this presidency is that Bannon said that the 2016 Trump Tower meeting between the Trump campaign officials and a Russian lawyer was treasonous. He also said that they would crack Donald Trump Jr. like an egg, and he also said that he'd be shocked, and I'm paraphrasing here, that Donald Trump did not meet with the Russians in the Trump Tower.
First things.
That's a problem.
Let me play lawyer for just a second.
I play it every day.
I know you play it every day, and you play it very well, probably much better than I do. Is that, you know, we have obviously gotten the electrifying statements from the publisher because to promote the buzz to sell the book. I don't know what else is in the book. The things that Steve Bannon says is like it's treasonous. That would be, you know, we don't know in what context or what his opinion is. Obviously, all this is electrifying and has lit all of us on fire. Has lit,
well, that's Bannon's opinion.
But treason is a significant charge to be leveled.
But I mean, I don't.
Impeachable offense.
I don't know. I understand that, but I mean, I use loosely, words too that I regret later. I have no idea, but I'm just saying is that I want to read the whole book.
Good. Well,
You know.
we'll read it next week. But you know, a lot of the things,
book. I agree with
things in the book make a lot of sense. For example, the guy never gives a press conference, Trump. We never see him. We never see him interviewed. He said no to 60 Minutes because he doesn't know what you're going to ask him, and he doesn't have the answers. So he goes to his pal Sean Hannity, who's been trashing me, by the way. So let's discuss Sean Hannity for a second. Sean
Can I just say one
Hannity.
thing is that was my friend. I worked with him for years.
I don't
Full
care.
disclosure. No, I'm just full disclosure. I know you don't. I know you don't.
Wait, can I finish my thought? Okay, my thought is...
And I'm not in favor of him trashing you or you trashing him, just as an aside.
But he is the one that would give Trump the questions ahead of time.
He did?
Now, how much
Yes, he did.
Kool-Aid has Sean
alleged
Hannity
that.
drunk before he drowns? Is the question
and that
I
is something,
have.
Greta, you know,
But
that
you're
journalists
also
typically do
feeding
not
him.
do.
No,
and should not.
I don't know
you
that
just
I
gave
don't know
Sean
that-
Hannity his clip tonight. Like, that's the
Good.
thing about this is it's
Good.
not about...
Good.
But
Let him
I don't
have it.
care about Sean Hannity. I care about the fact that we
He's
have...
a collaborator.
Could I finish my thought now?
He's a collaborator.
When you have journalists running around the White House
Whoopi's
in
Manners
this
book, they're
capacity...
fighting now.
But when you have journalists running around in this capacity, absolutely unhinged, which we saw with Omarosa as well, that there's just journalists running rampant that no one knows about, doing off-the-record and on-the-record interviews. There are national security secrets that could possibly being said that journalists now just apparently have all access to at all times. It's insanity, and I think it's a national security risk, which I care much more about
it is
than
a national
Sean Hannity.
security
But whose fault is that, though?
Yes, I agree, but
That's the thing.
But it's so much more. There's salacious.
concerned
So
about
here's,
how we
here's
get
what
the
I like
information.
about all of this,
Yeah.
is that you gave somebody you gave a journalist
Yep.
all this access. You hate journalists,
Yep.
apparently, because they only tell lies.
According to him.
Well, that's my point.
I think he probably thought it was going to be favorable, though,
Well,
don't you think?
I don't know what he was thinking. I just know that this is a person who can level crappy things towards people, but can't take it when somebody says something
Well,
crappy
that's true.
about him.
The typical bully.
Well, it is a typical bully. And so what is really kind of wonderful is that the new guy keeps saying, well, basically this is what he's saying. I have no idea who that man is. I've never seen him before. He has nothing to do with my presidency.
right.
I don't
200
I don't know
off-the-record
where he
interviews.
came. I don't know who is he.
Yeah.
That's what basically, because when you get your lawyers to threaten people, that's what you're basically saying. And you come out and you say, well, my presidency I did by myself. I don't know. I don't know what happened.
Well, one of my favorite things
Worked
in
in
the
the
book
White
is that Jared and Ivanka decided, according to this book, that she would be the first woman president. And so she'll have Imelda Marcos as her cabinet secretary. What is it that Ivanka is qualified to do?
Well,
I would like to know.
Why are you looking at me? Why would she turn looking at me?
You know what? You're the journalist.
I thought I was the lawyer. I was hanging out with Sonny,
Okay,
the
so
lawyer, the lawyer side. Megan's the one who called me a
Why
journalist.
do you think that anybody thinks
I've been
that
called
she's-
more names since I've been here.
Why do you think anybody thinks that Ivanka's qualified to be president?
Because
Where
he's
does that
married to her. That's why he thinks she's qualified. Because they have baby to the pillow talk. That's the only
So
reason.
it's like the royal family
of
and
Jared?
Charles gets
Well,
the
no.
throne?
Look,
What?
here it is. They have incredible hubris. We know this.
Right.
Why wouldn't you think she was qualified? Why wouldn't she think she was qualified? She thought she was qualified to be in the White House, to be the person that the dad went to. And the boy has been, Jared has been sent to the Middle East to solve the Middle East problem. Come on. Are you surprised they think that
To that point,
Let me just ask you. With the question.
Wait, I have to stop everybody. I'm going to go and come back and talk about this some more. Okay.
Yeah. All right.